Alright guys, we should be getting right into the next game here as both of the teams look like they are good to go, and yes we are. So I will get the titles updated, but we will be watching GLB Esports versus the side of they're a Polish
It's not
team.
worth it, man.
They're a Polish team, and I am an American, and I am horrible at pronouncing things.
Chat's just gonna flame us,
yeah,
man.
no, exactly. So I'll take the flame of being an ignorant American, and one day hopefully be able to properly pronounce that. But they are a Polish team. They will be playing against the team of GLB Esports. Again, GLB Esports went 2-0 yesterday, so they are 1-0 right now in the league, and the side of yeah, they lost. We'll just call them the red team. I gotta think of an abbreviation so I can properly call it out. We'll just call them Minut. How about that? That's easier to pronounce, I think, right? Like, I can't get that wrong. But they will be taking on the side of GLB. Of course, again, I am joined by Zemnis. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really well. Unfortunately, not so anymore because we have a DC.
Oh,
unfortunate.
Well, it is right away, so we can get straight into the lobby before anything gets too exciting. As, of course, it is nice for that to happen when it does there and not when the game has already gotten way underway.
Yep, and I certainly hope that that's not the there's this like semi-common bug where, like, I swear, like, certain players have like the plague, and they
just constantly DC.
But like they just randomly DC, like they just get disconnected from the game. It's really awkward. Because, like, we have a person on our team who just constantly, every day, will DC 2 or 3 times. And it's like, what do you do? Like, because, like, he's checked on the forums, and, like, lots of people seem to have this problem. And my brain's breaking because, like, I'm trying to, like, read them talking and think about the game and stuff. And, like, he just has this issue, like, where he just randomly disconnects. And apparently, like, lots of people have that, but, like, no one else on our team has that issue, so it just feels like the plague, where it's like you're just really sick, and we want to make you better, but Blizzard won't help us. Like, we just pat him on the back.
Blizz, please help. Blizz, give 128 tick. Blizz, give
I think in every tournament we've played in, he's DC'd. Like, it's really bad. I mean, very unfortunate.
The thing is, though, is it's like, the nice thing is it is slowed down a little bit as far as, like, you know, it is only happening to one of your teammates. But yeah, no, it definitely is something that hopefully they can get resolved. And I'd love to be able to see high bandwidth, because I know players would 100% prefer to be playing 60 tick, and obviously would prefer 128 tick even more. But
for the first time after last patch, when they finally got it, like, semi-working, we scrimmed on 60 tick. And oh, it feels so good! It feels amazing! Like, oh, I really hope that becomes, like, the standard in matchmaking. We can get, like, 120 tick in custom games and stuff, because, like, the 60 tick, honestly, it's like, why does the game not just run like this? Like, and, like, that's, like minimum already. Like, 20 tick is, you know what, we're not going to start the discussion. Just 60 tick is awesome. I'm excited for it to work properly so we can play everything on it. It's going to be awesome.
We'll go ahead and get the introductions right out of the way, so that way we can get into the discussions of the actual game and throughout the rest of the match. We have Mufu going to be picking up a Mercy. We have Demimond going to be picking up the, Symmetra Jazzu going to be picking up a Reinhardt. We have Corazon on a Soldier. Hexagon is going to be picking up the Junkrat, which leaves Fnatic over here on a McCree.
Yep, and then we have Tazak on a Lucio, Chipsa on a Bastion at the moment, although I bet that will change. Krister on a Reinhardt, Miscog on a Diva, Nicola on a Pharah, and Ox on a Zarya.
You know, it might not change, actually. Oh, no, okay, he's going to jump down. I was going to say, if you got all the way up there to be Bastion, maybe there's a reason, right? Like, you got all the way up there as Bastion. You did the whole May trick. You have to.
I think he just wanted to show that he could do it, and
he's special like everyone else. He can pull it off, but he will be on that McCree, so see how it goes. Of course, the McCree duel now is more about which one is better at left clicking and accurately, not about who can jump the other one quicker with the flashbang fan. And we do have the first fire strikes going out, so decent amount of spam. However, Christopher's fire strike went through, it looked like 4 people. He's getting 55% already on that Earthshatter charge, incredibly quick from a Reinhardt in this situation.
Yep, and that's very terrifying. He's going to have Earthshatter way before Jazzu is going to, and that is a devastating ultimate.
And then Corazon.
Although Rez already coming up for the side of the defense, probably because fire strike hits so many people. So, if this fight gets timed properly, we might see an Earthshatter into a res, and maybe offense won't be able to use their res.
It might be the case, but Nicola going to be able to take out Corazon, now Jazu, and now Nicola getting a second kill. Nicola on this Pharah, man. Pharahs are definitely the story of the day today. All the Pharahs that have been doing well have been going off for their teams and doing so much. It started with Gunrocks and might continue with Nicola today, as he's getting another, well, not another kill. He's helping out his team a lot, though, doing a lot of damage as he's getting rocket after rocket, almost up to a barrage, and now looking to kill that soldier. It does get the direct, but not the second. And his team will go ahead and cap the first point in 1 minute and 20 seconds to start the game, and that is a very effective push.
Yeah, but I wanted to point out just how smooth that was. You saw offense just push in. Like, they didn't, like, run in and make the fight super scrappy. They just pushed him with Reinhardt, stayed behind him, picked people off. Pharah just kind of glided around, got what she needed to do done. You know, stayed away from at least one of the hit scan at any given time, like staying out of line to set to the soldier or the McCree, depending on who she was going for. That was just really good position all around from the side of the offense. And it just seemed really calculated and really just well thought out. And
they might be able to just continue this for the rest of the map here. We have 5 ultimates up for them at this point. If they could continue the momentum and spread out the use of their ultimates. Here we go, Chip's going to be busting out that high noon. Will it do a lot? No, he gets charged in the middle of it, so very good job from the Reinhardt of the defense. That is Jazio, but he does go down to Chips. Definitely a cool-headed in the moment there as Chips is able to get the left clicks, get the multiple headshots, and does end up taking him out. Now, rolling forward, does miss the flashbang, hits it on the wall, but I don't think it really matters. He's going to turn around here looking at that Zarya for more kills. High Noon coming out for the side of the defense. They're just going to go ahead and back off, but Fnatic does still get miscause with that, and that's going to be no resurrection for the side of the offense, but this flank, this Deadeye, the tick-tick-tick, oh no! They reacted quick enough. What a great reaction, but the rocket barrage going to clean them up as they all had to run into that corner to hide, and that might have been a use of a number of ultimates, yes, but the way that those chain together to force the Deadeye forcing everyone to group into the Graviton Surge, great job from the offense, and now Reinhardt's probably dead too.
Plus, offense still has 3 incredibly important ultimates, Res, Sound Barrier, and Earth Shatter, so this next fight, I imagine they could take fairly handily since defense only has a Res in response. Sight's going to probably get completely nullified by that beat drop if it's timed correctly. So this could be a really scary fight coming out for the defense. We're going to need to see some really stellar play, or maybe a Graviton built up could turn the tide of battle.
Yeah, it definitely could be the case. But,
oh no! Knocked off the map.
That's not good. And then with the follow-up kill, Chips is going to go off, getting the flashbang. If they can kill Zarya here as well, and that's going to be 3 down. Corazon is trying to answer, and he does still have the sights available. We're going to stay on him right now because he needs to go off for his team. If he doesn't go off and he goes down, I think that's probably just going to be the game, as the Graviton Surge did catch the offense, but it doesn't do that much. Hexagon actually goes flying off the edge as he gets charged or bopped off. I'm not exactly sure which one it was, but with Tazik getting double kill, multiple down, offense going to convert, and that has to be a quick 4-minute time. 3:40 actually, and man, that is a disgusting time to say the least.
Yeah, that was that was hard to follow with how quickly that happened. That was just kill after kill, ult after ult, but at the same time it never felt hectic.
Yeah, like it felt like the offense
just seemed to always be in control, always aware of what they were doing. Fantastic, like even something as simple as like speeding up with the Deadeye coming around a corner, pushing them back, and having your team flanking at the same time, just stuff like that. Like they just seemed to always know where everyone was and what ultimates they wanted to use to make certain situations happen. Just honestly, like really close to flawless execution coming up from GLB. At least from my perspective, like it seemed like they had a game plan and they executed it perfectly.
So flip perspectives over here to Minut on the defense, the Polish team. So like they obviously, you know, their execution wasn't the best in comparison to GLB. You know, you can get on that, right on that, whatever, right? But like at the end of the day, you got to have prudent information or prudent ideas that you can act on. What does the defense do when the offense is executing like that? I mean, obviously you can't take a break and say what are we going to do, but how do you stall that kind of clean execution? Like what, you know, if you had to give help or suggestion into a team for that kind of situation, what would be your call as a play caller? You're the captain, you're the coach, you know, what do you do to slow down that kind of offense?
Honestly, with how much momentum GLB was gaining and just how well they were executing their strategy, I think your best course of action, even though it sounds kind of odd, might have been to just be like, hey, give up streets, let's go defend Foundry, and let's just take a breather. Like, let's just take these ultimates we have, let's just take a deep breath, and let's just try to defend Foundry. Like, give up half of streets just to collect yourselves, and just, because, like, it's the same in, like, lots of games where you can like take timeouts. It's the same in like fighting games when people will take a long time to pick their character after like losing a round. If you can just kill the momentum of your opponent, you can kind of reset the game almost. Basically just force them to stop playing the game. If you make them just push that cart through the other half of streets and just not get to shoot anybody and not get to coordinate and not get to play the game, it'll just kill their hype. It'll make them like be like, instead of being like, yeah, get him, shoot this guy, and like just like really feel themselves, they're gonna be like, okay, I guess we're just gonna push this cart and yeah.
Right,
and
it could
then
be that, like, yeah, that lulling. That's actually, like, lulling them into a, like, like, slowing their tempo by lulling the game, basically, is...
Exactly, you kill their tempo is basically the general idea of it.
Okay, no, I definitely agree with that, and, you know, that's a very good way to think about it, and I like that idea of defenses using lulls to make the offense push in too far, but Jazz says, you know what, let's just charge in. Fnatic gets a kill onto Szec, we gotta start the timer. Christopher does get an answer, Chips gets an answer, and that's very important, and they need to stall this out, but the side of Minut is going to be pushing in pretty aggressively and actually going to be pretty much, it seems like, taking apart most of the defense's teeth. They do have this sniper up on the high ground, this Widowmaker, but Nicola needs to be getting multiple kills, multiple picks here. He can't just be one and trade out. It needs to be a few. 2 ticks already taken, and they are on the point. Nicola going to be jumping on it. Chipsa going to be going down after... No, he's still alive. He does get a kill, and it looks like Nicola is going to be the one going down. Tazik's going to be the one going down, and Chips is the only one answering. Ox finally gets another kill for him, but Chips, wow, what a... super fast farm. Death Blossom ends up ripping it out, helping get 2 more kills, and they might actually be able to stall this here, and that eats up 42 seconds. And if there was a defense that was shambled or literally pulled from the ashes about to fall apart, that's one of them, man. That was... I thought it was over. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought they bled all their lives.
I agree. That was really good damage control. Plus, they have a teleporter now. They almost have res. They have Earth Shatter. They have all the resources they need to make another successful push. Ooh, great concussive blast coming out of the Pharaoh on the offensive side to take out that Widow. Really good aerial movement there.
And we're just switching to all the wrong people here as Damone goes down right as I switch over to it, and we are going to be... let's just switch over here to Alex, as most of the heroes I was switching to ended up dying, but the offense gets cleaned up there. It looked like their push just did not go at all the way they wanted to, and of course when that happens, they got to be asking themselves very quickly. They have only 2 minutes really left on the map to push it, so they need to get something going now. Otherwise, it's just going to be ultimately impossible to win.
I want you to see where Chipsa is, on top of the statue. Do you see this?
That they don't even know. Wow, they're not even looking up here. They are dialed in so much to getting this point, and this is definitely.
Oh, and he's gonna get the mercy.
Oh, I feel like this is a sign of frustration. Is they're not looking around, they're not asking themselves those questions, and now with the Reaper just completely unabated, first the support, then another, and he's just gonna keep going. Nothing's gonna stop him. This Zarya can try and can use the Graviton Surge, but he might just kill her in the middle of the Graviton Surge. Axe does go down, but man,
I wouldn't say that's a sign of frustration. I'd say that's a sign. Like, it's exactly what you said. You said it at the perfect time. Like, they need to do something now or they're going to lose. And that's exactly what that was. Is them going, okay, we have to go now. Like, we can't bother to check our flanks. We can't check on top of the statue for a Reaper. We have to just go. And it's kind of unfortunate that it happened basically at the perfect timing where Chips was like, yeah, I'm just on top of this statue chilling.
Yeah, and Chips going to be getting more kills. Ox going to be answering again, and it looks like they might just end up not getting much out of this next offense. This is really the 4th push they've really attempted, and it's not doing too much. And I gotta say, that is also very unique positioning from a Reaper. You really don't see that often at all, especially because normally the Pharah is going to be up in the air and naturally checking that sort of positioning. But pretty much reaching the point of mathematical impossibility any second now. Once we reach the actual point, I will not award the point until the timer reaches where we're at, or reaches the offense. But this Rocket Barrage might be the chance they need. Corazon does get a double kill off of it. Ox does take out Corazon, so the Rockets did go off and did cut it. Chips ripping out that Death Blossom, not doing too much though, as the offense is getting some feet under them. But Miska is still alive, does end up going down, and now it looks like they will be capping the point. This is a matter of pride. Mathematically impossible now, as they only have 20-30 seconds to advance across the entirety of the map. But again, pride is so important as a competitive player, and they will go ahead and call GG, or the defense does go ahead and call a little bit of aggressive GG, as it isn't mathematically impossible. There's nothing they can do, but again, taking that point is a matter of pride, and that is important for the side of Minut, and the question now becomes, can they take that pride and turn it into momentum for the next map against GLB?
Exactly. It's really important to still take that point. If you get full stopped, like when you already had, lost stopwatch, it's just all the more painful. Like you were saying, there's a lot of, like, in any competitive esports sport, there's always a lot of mind games when you're losing. Keeping yourself collected and doing that can still taking that point will just give you that little bit of, okay, we can do this, like just keeping your mind in the right place.
Yeah, like I almost want to go back to yesterday. I believe it was before. Yeah, I think it was before you were casting with me. But there was it was GLB Esports versus another team, and GLB ended up having an 8-minute offense after the defense had a disconnected member. So like honestly, offense pretty weak, to be frank. Not a good one, especially if you're fighting 5 versus 6 for part of it. But they came out on their next defense, full hold. Next defense on the next map, full hold. So, you know, it really is just a matter of maybe this is just the first game from Minut. Maybe they're just not feeling it. You know, maybe they're a little tired, groggy. I mean, I'm pretty sure they are. I mean, they're a Polish team, but so maybe they have some CIS members. So maybe it's a little late. They've been up super early, whatever it is. But if they can get in their rhythm, there's always a chance to turn the series around and get it going in their favor.
GLB was the one that did it yesterday, or was it Niner?
Yeah, GLB was the one who went from not doing well at all to going 2-0 in their
like
their offense was really bad, but then their defense, they had 2 full holds in a row in their 2-0s of their series. Minut went 0-2 against the other team we casted at the end yesterday.
I see. That's savage, Raptors. Maybe their offense, maybe they were just tired, man. Come on.
Maybe they were, but
their offense looked really strong to me, anyways.
Oh like, no, it was night and day difference.
I'm scared of it.
Night and day difference. Yesterday, their offense was not on the caliber of the offense that they just had right there, and that's, you know, again, it is one of those things too. Hard as a commentator, and you as a player can speak on this more. It is totally a day by day basis too. At the end of the day, these tournaments, some days you just feel better, some days you don't feel good. Whatever it is, it's totally random, and there's so many variables.
Plus, they might have taken some of the problems that they had yesterday and decided to look at them, evaluate them, and actually just iron them out that quickly. I think something that's really special about Overwatch, or at least right now in its current state, is that every team that's playing this game seems to be growing so quickly. I'd say this for the entire communities, we are advancing so incredibly fast. A lot of us, you know, we're at that 7 months disadvantage, but we're still striking out and showing that, you know, we are threats. I think a lot of teams are doing that, and even teams that you know, got into like later stages of the closed beta, maybe even like right near the end of the closed beta, are just now starting to come out and be like, yeah, no, we're going to be really scary. Lots of teams are really improving super quickly, and that's really impressive. That's just for the entire community. I think that's really impressive.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about this game too, is that the mechanical skill of this game isn't as high per se as other games, but at that other token, that means that the amount that you need to play effectively and coordinate with your team goes up. The onus on you to not make mistakes is higher, so it's really cool to see how the game works out in that respect. But that's enough of that. Action is going out as we have the offense pushing in pretty aggressively here. They're on the point. Go ahead and give you guys a slightly better view as Hax is going to be fighting it out against Ox over here to the left, but the defense is just cleaning it up right now. Chipsa getting a kill, as well as his teammates picking up 2 more with him. And now, again, this is just a story of the last game as well. It was KYB in the last game, but Ox jumping up on this high ground as Soldier, getting around and just raining hell down onto the enemy team on the offense. And that looks like to be a cleaned up push, and I'd like Dimion to just run. No, he gets cleaned up by Chips. No chance to run there. He does end up going down. And Nicola picks up Fnatic, so that will be another kill, and that's going to stall up the spawns once
again.
And
then they also get the Pharah. This is a lot of staggering coming out from the side of the offense, and that went from a failed push and having to regroup to another member dead, and like that's, you know, that turns from 5 seconds to 10 seconds to 15 seconds, and that just starts adding up in stopwatch.
And you need to be going quick on these offenses because you want to set the best time possible, especially so that you can have a more comfortable defense. That's the benefit of being the offense first. The last thing you want to have happen is a full stall. So we'll see if they vary up their composition or they vary up their style. I mean, is there anything? Oh, Corazon gets taken off by Nicola, and that's definitely gonna slow it down. We have a tire actually coming out from Chip, so we should switch to that, as it's just gonna blow up on Fnatic. We missed that. I apologize, guys, but that does get a fair amount of damage done. But would you like to see a comp change at all from the offense, or do you think they just need to execute their push better?
At the moment, good aerial movement there coming up from Koran's, getting onto that Widow just like he needs to be doing. That's really important for the Pharah, to be using that concussive blast to just overwhelm the Widow, basically.
And meanwhile, there was an Earth Shatter on the inside of the point. It looks like that was, of course, the side of, oh no, that was a offensive Earth Shatter by Jazz, but it wasn't really capitalized on. It looks like they're just bleeding members. Hax, though, trying to fight it out for his team. Resurrection comes out from Miscause, bringing up multiple heroes. Defense still going to be able to possibly stabilize on this point. And now Graviton Surge, is it gonna? No, it's not gonna do much at all. Only one player there, and he's just gonna have to back up. That's Hexagon, and he's gonna maybe feel a little bit uncomfortable about the fact that he used that Graviton Surge. That was I mean, nitpicky, but not the best Graviton search. Probably wanted to save that in the best pocket, or the back pocket.
Yep, it's easy, especially because there's not a lot of indicators for what allies are around you. It's easy to lose track of who you have and who you don't have. So it was a good Graviton, it just there wasn't that follow-up, like you said. And Zarya sadly can't fight through the Reinhardt shield by herself. Honestly, if it had been like 2 people that wasn't including a Reinhardt, she probably could have gotten them. She was at really high charge.
Yeah, it's just that damn
Ooh,
barrier.
those Symmetra orbs doing so much damage. And oh, just as I said it, Reinhardt goes down to one of them.
Unfortunately, we missed that on the stream, but we might not. Yes, we do see the tire. It gets a double kill. Demion and Corazon, that's immediately going to force out the Resurrection. And while the Resurrection was used and gets them back up, note, guys, that one ultimate from a defensive Riptire forces that offensive Resurrection. So now they have to take this fight with the 6 heroes they have. Can they do it? Rocket Barrage coming out from Corazon, and he's just going to be going for Chipsa, but he doesn't get anyone. In fact, Chipsa getting a direct rocket onto Corazon. Corazon getting super low and will end up taking out Chipsa. But Corazon is low, so now can they take him out? They need to pick him off. We're going to be switching over to Christopher as he's swinging away, fighting for his team, stabilizing on the point, busting out that barrier, and giving them some room to fight. And it looks like in the background, Hexagon is going to kill himself with his own orb, and Corazon does take out Tazak. Ox going to take out Corazon, and the push is basically stalled out. Defense going to be restabilizing, and man, we should go over to Ox because he has sights available, and that could be huge for the next push in. Nicola!
I want to point out fantastic team shooting from GLB. Nicola popped that fair in the chest, and then Ox followed up immediately, and she just melted. It was almost like she got headshot by the way that it was so fast.
And another tire. Let's see what happens. Down to 25 HP. Like to see him go run over health pack, but doesn't look like he really cares. Just doing a hidden tire again. Like you said, the best tires are patient tires, and it didn't look like it was going to be the best, but you know what? It does something. Ox did go down during all of that, but Nicola, you're the man for your team.
Stop him!
Double kill
Nicola
for him.
is just going crazy.
Tags the McCree right after, and now he's looking on to the Zarya. Tags her as well, and this is the true power of a Widowmaker. Yeah, you can get headshots. Yeah, you can pick off people, but every single shot he's bringing out for the most part is tagging somebody up, weakening them, and making it easier for his team, like you said, to team shot and clean it up. We're going to stay on him for this next push. He's feeling it, and if he can land these shots, it'll make it really easy to stop the offensive push.
Although there is a lot of ultimates coming off from the side of the offense. Defense is about to have an Earth Shatter. They do have sights, like you said, res available as well.
Ooh, Ox. He takes out Jazz. That means no Earth Shatter for them critically. They need to get the Resurrection off. They're going to be using that. It doesn't look like Mufu is going to choose to use it yet. And with 3 down, Mufu should be using that Resurrection any time. But Jazz actually resurrects. Jazz was spawning, so there's no Resurrection on Jazz. He doesn't have the Earth Shatter. If they need to get onto the point and stall it out to get him out here, but they're going to lose 2 because of that. Corazon now pushing forward, forced to go into the stairwell, and he will not make it. That is a full hold coming out from GLB, and I gotta say, man, maybe it was hesitation, but what about Mufu holding that Resurrection? I feel like they needed to resurrect Reinhardt specifically for the Earth Shatter there.
Yeah, exactly. I would have agreed with that. Getting the Reinhardt back up to be able to use the Earth Shatter there. Also, I wanted to point out, fantastic play from Nicola and Ox. Like I said before, everyone on GLB played really well, but I have to give MVP to Zach. Like, the orbs and the sentries just melted Minute. Like, the orbs were really huge. You saw, like, there was that one time when he got the Reinhardt in the back with, I think it was like 3 really well-placed orbs and then a little bit of team shooting from his team. That Reinhardt just melted. He was hitting the McCree in the backline as well, forcing the Mercy to heal the DPS instead of the tank, and then he got taken out. Also, in that very last fight, I think 3 people died to sentries on the point. They were just microwaving people hardcore. I think it got Mercy, Lucio, and Farah. So really good sentry placement, really good orb placement, just all around, just really fantastic play from him on that Symmetra. He did a whole heck of a lot of work on a hero that sometimes kind of gets ignored for how much work it actually does as far as like damage goes.
No, I completely agree with that, and I guess I kind of want to like ask the question is like, so if you are a aspiring Symmetra player, it's easy to say, yeah, hold your right click, aim it well, place your sentries, study sentry placement. That's something that's just like a data question. What are the best sentry placements for what situations? Know how to use them properly. But I guess like outside of that, what are you looking for? Like if you're a team recruiter, you're looking for a good Symmetra player. What qualities that are harder to attain are you looking for in your Symmetra player?
Positioning. Positioning is everything when it comes to Symmetra. So early on, you have to make sure that you, like, it's basically just don't die, but you have to land these orbs because we need teleporter ASAP. So you have to be positioning yourself aggressively, but very safe. So that's a very important characteristic to have. Also, and then like after you have your teleporter, the positioning comes down to how can you land the most effective orbs, and how can you be somewhere where you're going to be able to left-click melt somebody before they can respond. So, for instance, like, the simplest answer would be behind them, but just sneaky places to hide at, picking the correct targets with your left click. Just because of how much damage it does, you can honestly become a tank melter if you get ignored. But you need to be charging up first. So, like, let's say, oh, I'm going to focus this 200 health squishy first, and once my gun is charged up, I'm going to switch over to the Reinhardt, or I'm going to switch over to the Zarya to take them out so they stop being a factor because I have so much DPS.
Fair enough. I definitely agree with all that, and we're not going to need the stopwatch, guys. Of course, GLB did get a full hold, so GLB just needs to convert the first point for them to go 2-0 in this series and go 4-0 so far in league play, 2-0 on point system as far as it goes for the league. So definitely strong opening from GLB in the league, but Hax is going to take out Nicola. So if you're a fan of Minut and you want them to continue on and play in this play the third game of this best of 3, that's the kind of opening that you need from your Junkrat, is getting those critical picks, and it's, you know what, it's 30 seconds in, and he has a rip
I actually wanted to point out these deaths. The deaths aren't intentional, but the damage is definitely intentional. Reinhardt's not putting up his shield. Zarya's doing bubbles to get high energy, and they're building res. Now, because Mufu was damage amping the Junkrat during all of that, they also have res, so a little bit didn't work out quite the way they were hoping it would, but they also get a lot of charge on their Lucio, so because all they have to do is take this point in time isn't a factor. Actually, really smart play coming out there.
They weren't ready for that push at all. You could tell in Hax's eyes that they were not ready for that. He was just spamming, expecting them to be down archway. Call never made. Offense in position. Now going super aggressive. Going to be charging in as Christopher. Meanwhile, Jazz in the background charging himself. Ox going to be fighting it out with Jazz. It looks like Jazz is going to take him out. Double kill from him. And this Reinhardt being a solid rock for his team. Meanwhile, Hax and Corrigan going to be going off themselves. But Miss Cause with a massive resurrection. Getting up many of his heroes. And the defense is reeling. They're down multiple. They only have Mufu and Fnatic in the area. And Demion never got down his teleporter, so they don't have a teleporter. They don't have a teleporter. I'm gonna go to the Mercy, but she's the closest person. I think that's game. I don't know if they can get here. Oh no, and a series of blunders from the side of Szesc, and they're gonna go down 2-0 in the second day of the league play, and unfortunate for them. GLB though, if you're a fan of them, you want to see them do well. Man, that was a defense. That went so fast.
I mean, that was, to be perfectly honest, that was just...
My heart feels a little for Minut. That's just like, they were doing all right, and then it's just like, bam, something happened.
Exactly. Like, I felt like Minut was playing... I felt like Minut played well on both maps, honestly. It's just... GLB is just a league above, honestly. It's just... There's just a difference, right? Like... There are going to be people who are better than you, and it's unfortunate that that's the people you end up playing right away in the league system. Well, just in anything in general, you don't want to get paired up against people that are just, a lot better. But it's a good learning experience. I hope to see Minut take this, learn from it, come back even stronger. I think they have a lot of potential just watching them play. Or at least they showed a lot of potential.
Yeah, no, I completely agree, and I mean that's part of it too. Is like you do have to balance out the fact that it is, you are not going to win all of the games. So I just got an update, so we'll go ahead and get you guys everything that you need to know. First of all, we will not be playing the 4th game today, as unfortunately the tournament is going to be running a little bit longer, and there are other tournaments. We don't want to hold up the teams from being able to compete in the tournaments. This is a league, so we will be scheduling. As far as whether or not okay, so we'll be running 5 games on a later league day, probably on a Friday since there's less tournaments going around. There's not Ghosty Gamers or stuff like that. But again, if you guys want information and updated about this, first of all, follow the channel below to know when the stream goes live. Second of all, for informational updates, definitely go to the website, bookmark the website, and also check out them on Twitter and Facebook. You can find both of those links down below. For Twitter, they're at Supestar Esports. Supestar Esport. We will keep you guys updated as far as when the matches are going on, but if you type in !bracket or you go to the let me pull up the exact graphic. It is the league info one. If you click on the link that it goes to, the Premier League, you guys can go to the matches and see the matches for the next 7 days. And again, this 4th one today will be rescheduling. But again, thank you so much to Superstar League for letting me cast, and thank you so much for coming on with me, Zimnis. I really appreciate it. Having you on is awesome for the insight, awesome for my voice and being able to continue the cast, but also just it is incredibly helpful. And if you want to plug yourself, let people know who you are, where they can find you, and where they can hear more about you.
Sure, I'm Zemnis. I play for Team Sensei. You can find me on Twitter at ZemnisBW, so that's XEMNESBW. My name's really weird. Please don't hate. Also, you can find me on Twitch. I stream scrims and stuff like that. And if you're looking to get into the competitive scene and you want to ask somebody some questions on, how do I go from wanting to be competitive to being competitive, you're not looking to, ask like Cloud9, how do I go from being not competitive to being top 8 team, I feel like I can help out with that. So I'm always willing to answer questions and give insight and stuff like that. So stop by sometime, chat, do all that cool stuff. Thanks for having me. I have a lot of fun casting. So thanks to Superstar League, and thanks to you Raptors for having me on.
Of course, man. I have a great time casting with you. I really enjoy it. We gel really well, and I enjoy casting with you. So it's a fun experience. And on the note of getting better at Overwatch, guys, as far as my personal shameless plugs go, if you are interested in Overwatch analysis videos and content, please spread the word. Let people know about my video series called Stratwatch, where I look at professional competitive play and I break down strategies, concepts, whatever. Try to get you guys information that not all of you will have the time to sit down and break down games like I try to in that series. As well as follow me on Twitter. Both of our Twitters are down below in the bottom right of the screen. Raptors OW is me, as well as Zimnes BW is his, as he said, or Zimnes as well. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This will be the last game of today. Unfortunately, again, the tournament or the league is running a little bit over today. We had a little bit of a delayed start, as well as this. We had that awesome game 2 or series 2 best of 3 that went to the 3rd map on Lijiang Tower. Again, also follow all the stuff for this, but we'll get it linked for you guys. Supestar Esports or League has started a YouTube, and I am uploading the VODs to it. We're uploading the VODs to it. We'll keep getting the VODs updated, so you guys have a playlist to go to in YouTube. We'll get you guys that linked. But last but not least, of course, guys, you guys, the viewers, thank you so much. Without you guys, there wouldn't be a reason to be here. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You guys are literally the lifeblood of this industry, because without you guys watching, there would be no way for sponsors to be talked to or casters to have anyone to listen to them ramble and sound stupid. So I really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to me. I know Superstar League appreciate it. I know Zemnis really appreciate it. So thank you so much. Keep watching. Enjoy the rest of the content for the weekend. We'll be around for more with Superstar League on the following Friday of this coming week. We'll be getting you guys 4 more games, possibly 5. But until then, enjoy the music, enjoy the outro, and stay amazing. And we hope to see you guys around for future days of the Superstar League Premier League for EU Season 1.